Okay, so we're going to be dreaming bigger. And I'm going to have these all timed. And this is not going to be a crazy long Zoom or anything, but we're going to have them timed. And I want y'all to, I'm just literally going to walk y'all through a bunch of different ideas, things that may sound good if what I say sounds bad. If I say boat and you're like, I don't want a boat, then maybe you want an RV, or, we're just going to walk through a bunch of different options. So first thing we're going to walk through is your rank for 2020. What feels good for you to hit? What do you want to do? And I'm going to go ahead and share my screen so that I can kind of show you what I do when I'm like, and I'm going to create my new dream board for it, actually. So what feels good to you? What rank? Let's see. Actually, I want my 2.0 to go presidential. That's not presidential. So I want my 2.0 to go presidential. I'm not 100% sure. Presidential is not going to pull up anything fabulous on Pinterest. So I'm going to go over and I'm going to start my over design. And if you want to do it, like I said, if you want to do a Pinterest board, fabulous. If you want to do a real life dream board that sits in your office, great. Whatever feels good to you. So let me go ahead and pick a background. And like I said, I want my 2.0. My 1.0 is ambassador. I want my 2.0 to be presidential by the end of 2020. So I'm not 100% sure what I want my background to be, but I like this. I think this is cool, right? And if you have anything that like is sticking out to you, write it in the chat, because I would 100% love to hear what your goals and dreams and ideas are for 2020. So I'm going to go ahead and write presidential 2.0. If I'm ever going to be able to spell presidential correctly. So when you promote, here we go. Let's talk this through. When you promote to the rank that is what you want, who's going to be in the promotion spots? What do you need to get there? What do they need to get there? Do they need to pop 2 diamonds? Do they need, or do you to say, I'm gonna, we're working hand in hand. If your goal is triple, or you said, I am 100% focused on my 2 new diamonds. What is it? What is it gonna feel like when you get to that rank? Are you gonna be pumped? Is it gonna feel like a relief because you've been trying to hit it for so long? Is it gonna feel, I'll be honest, sometimes when you hit a new rank, it can almost be stressful because I've known a time in my business where I'm like, oh my word, I have so many people now that it is overwhelming. So how will it feel? How will it feel when you hit that rank? And what is that rank? What rank feels good to you? What is achievable, but yet a goal that is going to push you? For me to say, I'm going to be Black Diamond in 2020 is a goal that sounds amazing, right? But I don't think it's achievable for me in 2020. But I know I can go presidential 2.0, which is going to get me even closer to being Black Diamond. Okay, we're going to go ahead and move on to our next little prompt. And we're going to talk about money. So what is the number in your head that sounds great every month? What would be the number that makes you feel comfortable? I'll go ahead. I'm going to write mine in there. Here we go. And this is the number that feels good to me, that I want to hit in 2020. is it doing that? Consistently. Like, that's my number. So I'm going to go back to my Over app, and I'm going to create a new thing, and I'm going to, what was it that? I'm going to type in what feels good to me. What number feels good to you? What is exciting? How are you going to feel when you get that check of that size? And it may not be, oh, I want a check of this size, but it may be, I want to pay down this much debt. This is just our money section. So maybe I want to pay down $10,000 of debt, or I want to have a couple $1,000s in savings, or I want to spend some time investing my money. I want my money to work for me, which is one thing I have on my dream board is I want my money to pay me back. So investments are really something we want to focus on in 2020. Do you want to look at, there are obviously network marketing is not the only way to make money. So do you want to look at investment properties or other ways to help you bring in more money? So I guess this money section doesn't just have to be what's the amount you want to make every month. Like, we want to start investing. So I'm going to go and I'm going to look up, I'm just going to look up money on my little app. I don't love any of these currently, but I know that money is coming to me endlessly and effortlessly in 2020 because my work is of high service, and why wouldn't it, right? Well, I guess I should look up graphics. And so I know that we're going to be able to give back more, to reward our team more, and you could look at your money and say, what do I want to reward my team with? Do I want to do a retreat? Do I want to send out more, incentive gifts? What do I want to do? Like, money-wise, let's see, $10,000 a month. Yes, Black Diamond is $100,000 for one account for 6 months. No, one account. So the only thing that the conjoined accounts help with is the Millionaires Club. Everything else is the one single account, which is, I love it because I think it makes the playing field so even, if that makes sense. Because there are people that have their husband as their main leg, which, obviously they're killing it, right? I don't. I never have. Jake has never been my main leg. I don't think that's right or wrong. I think, it's whatever feels good to you. But that's how. So I love these little ones that are just little outlines. I don't know if y'all are even watching my screen. Okay. Now we're going to go to our team goals. What do you want for your team for 2020? How many diamonds do you want to pop? Do you want to host a retreat for 2020? I did a retreat in last year, 2018, and it was so much fun. We had a ball. I loved it. And this year, I don't know, 2019 has been a crazy year for the Gallaghers with moving and whatever, so I didn't get to do one. But this year, I know 2020, there is one already in the works. I don't know what it will be to earn it. I don't know anything like that, but I do know that it's already in the works. So, because I think retreats are super important. I think they're really great. So what do you want for your team? Do you want to hold Zooms for them on a weekly basis? Do you want to allow leaders in your own downline to pop, because that's a huge thing, and that's a really big step for you as a leader to take. Do you want to commit to a specific number of triads for the month or for the year? Personally enrolled. PE is personally enrolled. Like, what feels good to you to do for your team in 2020? Like, you're a leader, so you are serving your team. You're serving your not only distributors, but also what feels good to you. I know I want to pop 10 personally enrolled diamonds. That is almost one a month. So that's lofty. And I want, let's see, I don't want record enrollments but I want Caitlin record enrollments, right? Because like I look at some of these people that enroll how many, like 90 distributors in a month. Amazing, super impressed, but I want Caitlin record enrollments. I want them to be right for me. Do you want to, let's see, I'm trying to think of this is our team section. So do we want to, okay, when we go to conference, do you want to possibly do a dinner for your team, or a lunch, or provide a meal for your team? Or maybe you want to wait till green carpet. And when I say do a retreat, guys, I promise you, I'm in this ambassador chat, and we were just talking retreats, and everyone unanimously said the best retreats they do are at their house, where they spend very little money and everyone hangs out together. The end. And I'm like, oh, that's so fun, right? I mean, those are some of my favorite ones, because you get to collaborate, you get to have so much fun. So when I say retreat, that doesn't mean you have to spend thousands of dollars treating everyone to dinner and lunch and spa and all the things. No, getting together and collaborating is amazing. So much fun. Like, I can't even explain it. They're just, if you've been to one, you get it. They're so fun. Okay, so now we're going to go to our personal goals. And this is kind of, I feel like I should give more than a couple minutes for this one, but what do you want personally in 2020? Do you want to lose some weight? Yeah, I want to lose weight. Me, Caitlin, yes. Do you want to get organized? Like, do you have I'm going back to weight. Do you have like a specific weight that feels good to you, that sounds good to you? Like, I want to just be the healthiest, happiest Caitlin I can be. And I'm not showing me so many infinity signs. And I know currently where I am is not the healthiest, happiest maybe, but the healthiest Caitlin I can be, no. So I have a weight goal, a health fitness goal in mind. And I don't think you even have to write it. I know what that little weight means, right? Not the little weight, it's a big honking weight. I know what that means. So do you want to get organized? Do you want to work on your consistency? Do you want to work on your leadership? I'll be super vulnerable here. One thing I want to do in 2020 is I really want to start a blog. Actually, I have a blog. It's not published because I've never published it. It's a hidden blog. So like, I really would love to publish it and let people see it. It kind of started as a stress reliever for me. But so do you want to start a blog? Do you, I'll just tell you some of the other things that like I want to do. I want to work on self-care. So like, self-care to me was something that I was really good at about 3 years ago. I mean, I did it. I got my eyebrows waxed on the reg. I got my nails done. I can't tell you the last time I got them done. But I'll tell you, when I get them done, I feel like $1,000,000, right? Like I feel so great. And so that's one thing I really want to work on. Currently a housekeeper is not something that is a want or a desire for me, but it may be something for you. There is an entire list of VIPs that have, I hate to call it personal chefs, but that cook like casserole-ish things for them every week, and it saves them the time, and they get to hang out with their families instead of sitting in the kitchen cooking, because that may not be their gift. So personally, what would be something that would help you be more fruitful in 2020? Personally, I think being consistent, saying, consistency for 2020 is, I mean, I think that's something you have to be in this business. And so I don't know why my thing is running so slow. So I think letting that be a big word on your thing. And what would help you? What would help you ease up your time, give you more time to work the business, to hang out with your family, to do the things that you enjoy? Is it a housekeeper? Is it someone? I would love more than anything for someone to come to my house and help me organize. Like, let's just be honest. Okay. So now we're going to go to our family goals. I don't know why this won't download. We're going to go to our family goals. What is something that feels amazing to you that you would love to do? I'm about to just hop off that because it's not working. My internet, y'all, What's something that you would love to do for your family? Maybe you want to, and this is all just to get your brain going, guys. Maybe you want to start saving. You know that your kids are going to have to go to private school and high school. Maybe you want to start saving for that. Or you want to start saving for their college. And this is not to brag at all, we took over a child's tuition, this was last year, because they couldn't afford to go to the school anymore. Something like that. What would feel good to your family? Maybe you want to plan a family vacation. Maybe you're like, we're stressed, right? Right? Yeah, if you have a family, it's stressful going from this to that and school to blah, blah. So maybe you want to plan a vacation. Maybe it's just date nights for you and your husband. Like, who doesn't want, or a boyfriend or whatever it is, who doesn't want a consistent every week date night? Actually, I had a really good friend. She's like a friend's mom, but she did every single year. They do a marriage retreat, just her and her husband, and they do it in the beginning of the year. They plan out their goals for the year. They pray over the year. They come up with their word for the year. And it's amazing. I love it. I think it's the best practice ever. We have not started it yet, but we want to do a marriage retreat, and not with other couples. We just want to do a marriage retreat, just us. Maybe you want to start a savings account for your kids. What is it that feels good for you to do with your family? I have this in another little section, but one of the reasons I push myself really hard with this business is, this sounds so crazy. When Georgia was born, we got the newborn package of photography. I don't even know how much it was, but you got the pictures done, and then you had to pay for the package, to get the pictures, or you could buy them individually. We couldn't afford to get all of them. We had to just pick and choose our favorites, and have since gone back to the photographer and bought them back from her, the rights to all of them, because I wanted all of her pictures, but I couldn't afford them. So that was one thing that pushed me when we got started, was I want to be able to buy the rights to my pictures when we get them done, because I want all the memories. I want all of that.
So maybe for your family, you want to be able to get family pictures done twice a year. They're expensive, right? I don't know. It's crazy, but Jake thinks it's insane. But so what is it for your family? I think one of the biggest things is to set a vacation so your kids know we are working towards this. This is what you see mommy working. This is what we're working towards. We're working towards a trip to Disney. And when I'm working towards, paying your school, I'm working towards all of those things because they see you working and I had to say I saw this yesterday, but they're sponges. They're watching it all and they're soaking it up. And they are, oh, I see mommy working and she's working for a trip to Disney. How cool, right? So, okay, next we're going to go into, this is my favorite, and I wish I could have my thing up. This is your treat yourself. This is your buying. What are you doing? What do you want to do this year? What sounds fun? What sounds exciting for you? I made my dream board at Susan's retreat in November for 2020, and it had buy a new car on it. I've driven the same Tahoe for 5 years now. It literally was 1,500 miles from being 200,000 miles on the car. Like, it had been driven, it had been lived in, it had been loved. We loved that car. And we got a new one like a month ago. And so I had to redo my dream board. But is it a car you want? Is it a house? Is it furniture? Maybe I just really want this great Kendra Scott necklace. It doesn't have to be anything like grandiose and huge and a spectacle. Maybe you just want to say, I want to be able to go to Target, and when I go to Target, buy a shirt. Or I want to be able to upgrade my cell phone every time Apple comes out with a new one. I know, Trisha, you don't do Apple, but you should. What is it? Like, what would be a spa day? That's so good. Yes. Like, I want to be able to do, like I said earlier, self-care. I want to do that again. So a spa day once a month. I want to get a massage once a month, right? And some of these are necessities. Haircut. Don't even, girl. I literally was complaining about it today. I was like, I have to get a haircut. A regular haircut. Like, some of these are necessities, like a car. Sometimes you just have to go buy a car. But to have the ability to go buy it because you have extra money in your account, or you have the money to put down on a down payment on a car or a down payment on a house or whatever, that's what this business has afforded. It's afforded the options to be able to. Let's see. Long story short, my credit card free. Yeah. Perfect. Yeah. You want to be debt free. My neighbor was telling me that his daughter's car broke down and he flew her home so that she could pick up his car and drive it back. And I was like, isn't that interesting? Because in my mind, I look at it, and her husband is a surgeon and this whole thing. I look at it and say, my car broke down. I have the option, if I want to go to wherever and either buy or finance a car now, right? Because I've been afforded these options with the company. And that may seem far stretched or out of reach currently or today, but that doesn't mean it will be out of reach or far stretched in 15 days or 30 days when the new year hits, right? And I truly believe once you write down these goals and you believe them and they are ingrained in you, kind of. I literally said, y'all, for 18 months, I've been saying I will have a Chrysler Pacifica. I rented it and drove it for a week. Every time I see one, I point it out. And finally, Jake was like, stop pointing out the Chrysler Pacifica. Like, I feel like crap that I haven't bought it for you yet. I was like, well, then buy it for me. Come on. Like, just go get it. Because that's not me, not my area of expertise. And finally I sent it to him. I sent him another one. Y'all, I probably sent him like 80 Chrysler Pacificas. I'm not kidding. And he was like, okay, we'll go get that one. And I was like, you just want to like test drive it? Like, he was like, no, we'll go get it. Like, I'll do it. And I was like, yeah, we're doing it. We're getting the Chrysler Pacifica. So now I'm an old woman with a van. But for over 18 months, I have obsessed over this car. Pam says, have you, like, you want something? Have you test driven it? Have you licked the leather? Have you felt the tires? Have you rubbed your hands down the... Go, Christine. I don't have anyone on mute, so you can unmute yourself.
I literally went and rented the car for 4 days that I wanted for Enterprise, just so I could.
Yeah, I did the same thing. Budget has the Chrysler Pacifica, but I made sure I like called him and was like, I need the Chrysler Pacifica. Like, that's the car I need. And they were like, oh, well, we have a Honda. And I was like, no. Pacifica. Thank you. And like, y'all, I feel like a freaking $1 million driving that van. And you're just a beautiful dog. My dog is the cutest thing ever, y'all. Hi, baby. But I feel like a freaking $1 million driving my van, where I could, like, 6 months ago, me would have been like, oh, it's so embarrassing, a van. No, not 6 months, like 2 years ago, me. But I've wanted this car. I love it. Okay, so we're going to move on. Sorry, I just went on my tangent about my car, but I truly believe, and it took me 18 months, y'all. It was not, I've had it on my dream board for 2 years. This same car. I put it on in 2019, and then I put it back on in 2020, thinking, well, I mean, maybe sometime in 2020. And it happened like 2-3 weeks later, like after I put it on the second time. So it may not happen this year, but I promise you, it is no less special that it happened this year. Like, I love that dang car. Okay, so we're going to go into your leadership goals. So what kind of, I know we've done team goals, so this is kind of like a spinoff, but like, what kind of leadership do you want to do in 2020? And this is where we kind of get into leadership / personal development. So how many books do you plan on reading, or podcast do you want to listen to? Like daily podcasts, a book, I don't know, what's a book every 2 weeks or something like that. Do you want to, I'll tell you one of mine, and I've been writing it every freaking day since Alma's conference, is I'll be on stage at Conference 2020. Well, then a couple weeks ago, I sat down and I thought, well, yeah, I will be on stage probably, because like I'll probably get top whatever they announce. Not cocky at all, but like that will probably happen. So no, I'm not just going to be on freaking stage. Like, I'm going to speak on stage. Like, I'm going to have a talking point. So we have this Lifers page that's Triples and Above, and Cammie posted, like, what do you want to talk about? Like, what do you want to hear at conference? Who wants to be on stage at conference? And I was like, me, I've been writing it. What is that? The white couch. I totally need the white couch on there. Like, literally, it's every day in my calendar. Like, the first thing is I will be speaking on stage at Conference 2020. So please start praying for that, because it is something that has been on my heart for almost a year now. I'm definitely not the most eloquent speaker, but I can do it, right? Anything with God. And I know that Mike Patillo kind of coaches you on speaking, so that'll be great. But so that is one thing. That is one of my leadership goals, is that I am on stage, and I am not just on stage walking. I'm not just on stage wearing, because they do, what is that, like branded clothing and they'll get you on stage. But that is something that I truly, truly want. And so I've been writing it for almost a year. And if y'all don't journal yet, just like call me, because I'll talk to you for 20 minutes to like 4.5 hours about journaling, because it's the best thing ever. Okay. Leadership. Do you want to lead triads? Do you want to do pop-ups? Do you want to help how many people do you want to help go diamond this month or in this year? Keep saying this month. It's not this month. Y'all, I really need to get annual or like some kind of like biannual haircut. Do you want to start leading Zooms, power hours, whatever it is? It can be as small as saying like, I'm going to post a power hour for like the 2 people that are under me because I'm blocked for executive. That's a leader. You're a leader of these people. You're a leader of the team. Amazing. What a fabulous place to start. So whatever it is, get your leadership goal out there. Let it be known. I'm literally like telling everyone that you're ready to see me on stage. I'm gonna look so cute. I'm gonna be so cute. I'm gonna be so skinny. Just be ready, right? So get your cameras out when it happens, because last time they put me like on a microphone, I said, "Teams forever" is the exact quote that I said on a call that corporate had us on. I said, "Teams forever." Yeah, so they know I'm not eloquent. Okay, now we're going to go into our social goals. So I don't know if y'all kind of, these are all just like different levels of your personality. So social. One thing I put on mine is I want to join, and I don't know why, because I don't do this, is I want to join a tennis league. I don't play tennis. I've never played tennis in my life. My mom does. But I'm like, okay, so I'm home, and a lot of you are all day, right? And you're in front of your computer all day. You got your kids. A lot of times I won't even get dressed. I'm just like ratty hair, and I actually just have leggings on and a sweater. Y'all can see my leggings now. I had jeans on earlier, but I was like, no. And I thought about putting pajama pants on, but I always sit like this. So a lot of times I don't get dressed. But I'll be honest, to make me feel human, I have to get out and I have to go to Starbucks some days. And I have to interact, even if that's me going to Walmart and walking down the aisles and talking to someone. And that is one of the things that Pam talks about a ton, is getting out into the world. Sitting behind your computer is not always going to grow your business. Meeting people while you're getting a $5 polish change on your toes can help you meet people. Meeting people at Walmart is a form of networking. Going to the bank instead of depositing your check on your cell phone is a form of networking. You're meeting the people. You're talking to people. So what are your social goals? So one thing I really wanted to do was join a tennis league. I don't even know if one exists here. We live in a town of like 12,000 people. Like, it's teeny tiny. What are your social goals? When we moved to Fairhope a year and a half ago, I really wanted to be involved in MOPS, which is Moms of Preschoolers, which I'm not really a mom of preschooler anymore, but I wanted to be involved in MOPS. And it just didn't line up with my schedule. Do you want to, a social goal for you could be, I want to attend all of the events within like a 200-mile radius or something, or like at plus like the big corporate ones. Or I want to throw my own event. Like, how cool. This is another thing. Y'all are going to think I'm crazy. I really want to join the junior league fundraisers. That's so awesome. We're going to get to giving back in just a minute. But yes, like, how do you want to make do you want to have I want to make new friends. I want to have new people over. I want to have a new group of people over once a month. That sounds so fun to me. Like, I want to have we want to have a new group of friends over once a month for dinner. Someone that's never been over to our house. We'd love to have people over for dinner. If you live near us, come over for dinner because we love it. Do you want to plan a girls trip? So that was one thing we used to do a lot with this business, is we would plan girls trips. Like, we would go to New Orleans or New York or wherever and meet up. And it was so fun. So socially, what sounds fun for 2020? One thing that I'm super pumped about is planning my vacations for 2020. Like, I can't wait. And I know we talked about this like in our family stuff, and we're about to talk about it again in our next section. But like, I'm so excited about my calendar in 2020, and it's not even like a third of the way completed. And I'm just like, so many things. Like, it's just going to be so fun. It's just going to be jam-packed. And that is kind of how I thrive, is on like a jam-packed schedule. Okay. So like I said, we're going to go into fun goals. Do you have a bucket list thing? I don't. And I really need to come up with one. I asked Jake this, and he was like, I want to go skydiving. Like, I've always wanted to. And I was like, do you know you have 2 kids and a wife and you have 2 dogs? Like, you can't go skydiving, right? That sounds so fun to him. So, like, that's one of his bucket list things. To me, I want to, like, go drink my way through Napa, which I am going in January with my mom. That's my, like, 30. Well, I turned 30 in a couple of weeks. So that's my 30th birthday present with my mom's. We're, like, going to Vineyards in Napa, and I'm, like, so pumped. Because that's something I've wanted to do for so long, y'all. I've wanted to do it for so long, and I've been, like, holding it off, playing, like, oh, I'll just plan it. And then she came over and was like, okay, I'm taking you on a trip for your 30th. Where do you want to go? And I was like, Napa. And so it's just like, I'm just so pumped. So what else seems fun to you? Oh my gosh, swim with the pigs. Where is that? That's in like the Bahamas or Hawaii? So fun. So fun. Another thing, I think this is really cool, and I think this is what this business does, is you could learn something new. Like Jake, I was like reading over all this, and he was like, you know, like people can learn new things with this company, like courses, or, you know, I'm going to do interior design on the side. Like whatever it is, you can learn something new, and that's a fun goal to me. Travel, obviously, super fun. Something that is zip lining. Oh my god, damn, in Costa Rica, that looked like insane. One thing I talked about this earlier was the photographer. Like that to me was so fun. Mostly because I knew our photographers and they would come over to the house. It's like my wedding photographer, and then another one that always took our pictures. They would come to the house, and it was so fun to have them there. Wait, what did that say? Off-road park? I've never heard of that. But like maybe something fun to you would be, we really want to buy an RV and we want to travel like during the summer when my kids aren't in school. To me, that sounds like a lot of tight space. But like you kids are super parents. I'm like, don't y'all want to do camps? George asked me that today. Can we do camps? And I was like, we sure can. So what is like a fun goal for you? And I don't think this is something that I can even like prompt you on almost, because my fun to you is totally different than your fun. My fun, like I told you earlier, is like going to Napa and drinking and having like shopping with my mom. Like that sounds amazing, but also, like I told you earlier, I want to do a marriage retreat. I don't think it won't be at the beginning of the year, but we want to. We're taking the kids skiing this year, and like, y'all, I cannot freaking wait to take them skiing. I've had friends try and not talk me out of it, but they're like, couldn't we just make it like a couples trip? And I'm like, no, I'm taking the kids skiing. Like this is happening. I'm so pumped. I get on my last nerve, but I literally cannot wait. I am a like ball of excitement for it. So that is fun for me. That is something that I cannot wait to provide for my family, to give to them. Okay, I'm just going to go ahead and start because it's about to go off. So the next one is, I just said give to my family, is our giving goals for the year. How fun is it that we get to make so much money that we get to choose where we want to give? Outside, I mean, yes, you can tithe, you can give to independent people. We've given to, I mean, I'm not, yeah, we give. And it's so fun. Like, it's one of the most exciting, freeing things. And one of my, like, we love to give to adoptions. That is like, we don't want, that's not something that's like on our heart right now. but we've had so many friends that it's been on their heart that we'd love to participate in. Mission trips. We love participating and giving to those. And so I think it's just so exciting. Like we give to, I don't know if everyone knows what St. Jude is, right? It's not just like a Memphis thing. Like everyone knows what it is. Growing up in Memphis, I'm like, I know what St. Jude is, but to other people, we do the St. Jude. I don't know, they like pull out of our card every month. But it's so exciting. Actually, our neighbor, she came over when I was on this Diamonds in a Bub call with Susan, and she's so precious, y'all. And her husband has Parkinson's. They're adorable. And she came over and was asking if we would keep her mail, and said she was holding her mail, and Georgia was like, "What's that big one?" She was like, "I don't really know." And she opened it. It was that she also gets to St. Jude. And I was like, oh my gosh. She's from like Boston and just happened to buy a house down here. We have like a lot of like snowbirds, and she happened to like buy a house down here. And I was like, oh, we love St. Jude. She was like, have you ever seen it? And I was like, every time I go downtown, I saw it all the time. Like, it's amazing. And so it was just like a cool little connection. But like, set a goal. What do you want to give to? How much do you want to give? When do you want to do it? And here's the biggest thing is, why do you want to give to it? Because if there's no why attached to, I'm just like throwing money at, when we moved, this is really raw and real, guys. When we moved to Fairhope, which we still have not found a church home for us that we love here. So please, if you pray, please pray for that. We have never found a church home that we love here yet. We have not found it yet. We have tried church after church after church. I can read that. And so in Fairhope, we kind of did the same thing, and we went to one, and we just were not settled at it. But obviously we were tithing and we were giving to the church, and I was like, I don't even know why. Like, yes, it's a church. It was furthering the kingdom. And so we switched, and we just started giving to more towards adoptions. And like one of our friends just adopted 3 kids from Belize, and we were giving to that. And because we were never, it wasn't even our religion of church, actually, that we are. And so we just never felt connected to this church. So why are you giving? Like, what about it makes you want to give, if that makes sense? At the time this is so crazy. We were literally getting up on Sundays and listening to sermons that happened in South Carolina. They're like 45 minutes away, and we could totally go to them. But we were listening to South Carolina sermons and giving to our friends' adoptions because we just never felt like at home at this church. But when we were there, we were tithing, and it was fine. But so those are just kind of the prompts, some of the prompts that I kind of, when I was looking at my like original dream board that I came up with. So another thing, I'm just going to like tell you some more things on mine. For a long time, we had on there for the past 2 years that we want to buy a boat when we moved to Fairhope. So in 2018, I put that we want to buy a boat. And I was like, okay, yeah, a boat. A boat sounds great, right? We live on the water. Why wouldn't we buy a boat like that? Yeah, duh. Well, the more I thought about it, the more unsettled I felt about it. We wanted a boat for the social reasons, because we just moved to a new town. We don't know the people. We want to be able to meet people. Pretty much everyone here has a boat. And that sounds great, right? Except for we didn't even think about like the upkeep of a boat, or the insurance of a boat, or the maintenance of a boat, or the storing of a boat. And so it's such a great thing we didn't buy a boat, because we don't want a boat. We want to join, there's like these, they're called boat clubs, or I don't know what they're called, but they're boat clubs. And you can literally walk up and hop on one of their boats and take it out. We didn't want a boat. We want to join the boat club. Porter can't help at this point, like hose off a boat and do all of that. But in a couple of years he can. And until then, we're going to do the boat club. What else? Like, we want another pup. Y'all saw Francine a minute ago. We want Franklin and Francine. I told y'all I want to start a blog. I really 100% feel like, for me personally, when I get dressed for the day, I feel and work and do and mom and wife a million times better. And so I want someone to come in, and actually ask this guy at a store yesterday. I don't want a baby. I want someone to come in and say, here's some outfit. Like, here's what you need to wear. Like, here's your wardrobe, right? Like, this is what looks good on you. Because I don't know, it looks good on me. I walked around this world for like 4 hours. And I thought, dude, so fun. So, like, little things like that. I want my money to make more money for me. I want to read more. I want to do more self-care. I want to prioritize getting my eyebrows waxed when they need to be waxed, right? And that's totally things that, like, I need to prioritize, because I feel better when I do, and then I feel better, which makes me want to work more, or makes me more confident in enrolling people, and it's just a whole snowball effect. But I hope these prompts maybe brought up something or helped you realize something that you may want or desire, because I've said it a million times, but your desires were placed in your heart for a reason. They were not placed there just as careless thoughts. They were placed there by God, universe, whatever you believe. And they were there for you to achieve. And you have the vehicle to achieve them. And so I really believe, like, shouting them out and being loud about them is going to help you achieve them. So if you have any questions about a dream board, like I said, you can do it on a Pinterest board. You can kind of do what we were doing at the beginning and record it, and put it on over. I literally just read recording. I don't know why I'm recording this. You can put it on over and have it as your background, whatever, or you could throw it in your office. That's a saying that my dad said. And so that would be the only place I would put it. I'm not going to cover up my dad's saying because I love it. So that's just, I think I love having it on my phone because it's always right there. Yeah, right there. Climbing the rungs, all the diamonds. I love it. And let me just say this, y'all. When you go to a store and you're checking out, set it down, because they're going to look at it and they're going to be like, what's that? What is that? What does that mean? You're like, oh, that's just my dream board for my business. You want $100,000 in savings with your, like, what do you do to want $100,000 in savings? Yeah, and that's not like, yeah, like, that's gonna happen because that's, the business I'm in. I work from home. I don't even have to go in. I don't even have to go to an office. So it's just, it's also a conversation started, which is super fun and cool. But the family call is starting in 8 minutes. So I will see y'all there. Love y'all. And I hope y'all have a fantastic night. And we'll see y'all, I'm sure, this week.